Okay. So the question, and Achyuta Devaji, let me know if I answer your question, if I understood your question correctly. So how to get rid of our false ego? That was the basic question you had asked. And before I jump into an answer, obviously I have not completely got rid of my false ego, but I can surely share things that I hope are working for me. And I have a goal that probably sometime in the future I'll also get rid of it. But yeah, we can look at some things that have helped me, so I can share that at least with you. So, did I get your question correctly, Mataji? Was that the right thing?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So before I jump, I just thought I'll give a overview. So this is something we have discussed earlier in the class also, so I won't spend a lot of time. But so basically, our ego is I am. Okay, that's our ego. So it could be bad, it could be good. So ego by itself is our integral part. We cannot give it up. We don't. So, but then depending on what my surroundings are, my ego can be true ego or it could be false ego. So I just try to exemplify that with this number line. Okay, so the zero is my ego, and it can go to the negative, which is false ego, which is more like, oh, I'm an Indian, I'm a housewife, I'm a Brahmin, I'm a this and that. And so basically, I am and I want. That's what defines my ego. So, and if it's false, I want money, good car, looks, so and so forth. On the positive end is, who am I? I am a part of Krishna. Jivera Swarupa Nitya Krishna Das. And what do I want? I want love. I'm looking for love, a relationship. That's what I'm looking for. And the best kind of love, I just put a text here, that is the one that awakens your soul, makes you feel alive, right? And it's insatiable. It never ends. It keeps increasing. It, and when that kind of love comes into our heart, then our mind is automatically under control, and only Krishna can give us that. So then, what went wrong? Why did we develop false ego? And this, I just took up this quote from Prabhupada's, one of Prabhupada's purports from the third chapter. When a living entity comes in contact with the material creation, his eternal love for Krishna is transformed into lust in association with the mode of passion. So, when I came in contact with this material creation, my love for Krishna became lust. Because first of all, I said, no, no, Krishna, I want to enjoy by myself. And when Krishna said, okay, that's your choice, but when I came to the real world, nothing would make me happy. So I kept on jumping from one thing to the other. So my love became lust. My love for Krishna, which was pure, became lusty because this material world is not meant to fulfill my love. My love can only be fulfilled by Krishna. This material world, at the best, can convert my love into lust. And what does that mean? It means that my desire for belonging, to be loved, has transformed into desire for control. Right. So my surroundings, they have conditioned me to such an extent that I have allowed that conditioning to pollute my heart. That's false ego. So false ego is not just pride. False ego is everything. All the anarthas come under the umbrella of false ego. All the anarthas: pride, envy, jealousy. Uh, you can say whatever you can think of. All come under the false ego. So it's not just one thing. Then uh, how to fix it? That's the question, right? How can we fix it? So uh, I try to put it in two different sections. So if you look at it in a broader perspective, uh, one is by devotion, obviously, and then the other through is by deliberation. When we think about it, how can I do it consciously? So that's the other part. So for devotion, we all are already aware. Prabhupada has given us a very clear-cut direction uh, how we can do it. Devotional practices Prabhupada has given us. And so what I put here as a philosophical aspect is we take responsibility of it. That is my problem. I have to solve it myself. I should have a deep desire to fix it. And then we depend on Krishna. That's the biggest aspect. Now we depend on Krishna. We don't try to fix things ourselves. That's the thing. If we try to keep trying to fix things ourselves, we are not dependent on Krishna. That's the basic premise of our relationship with Krishna. We have to depend on Krishna. Uh, we don't try to solve things by ourselves. We take the whole matter, my life, all the decisions I have to make. the ways in which I have to deal with my body, mind, and other living entities. I take it to Krishna and say, Krishna, I leave it to you. Right? Just like I was telling one of my friends just a few minutes ago that how when in this material world, when a businessman is not able to pay his debts, he just goes to the bank and he just declares bankruptcy. So just declare bankruptcy in the spirit, for spiritual. I can't handle it, Krishna. I cannot fulfill this debt. I, however hard I may try. So I just give it to you, Krishna. Right. So we don't try to readjust our situation in this material world. So these are some philosophical parts, right? And when we have the desire to fix it, we take responsibility and then we depend on Krishna. Then the ego is fixed. So if you look at some practical aspects that I like to invest in, so the first and foremost is that you should always work from a list. So what I put there is because if you have a list, then your mind cannot run away from it. If you don't know what you are supposed to do, your mind will take you everywhere. So you should always have a list. Okay, 10 pages of Bhagavatam reading every day, 16 lines of chanting, and then know, hearing kirtan or engaging in some deity worship. You should have a list of them, and then you should tick those things off. Because when you start, you work from a list, you do a set of activities. After some time, then you start bringing your attention to them. Why am I doing those kind of questions? And then you start to do it better. Then you become more and more absorbed in it. That's one important thing that really helps me. I have a list for everyday activity, and I tick them off whenever I do them. So my mind is not able to fool me because I've given it a clear list. This is what we have to do every day. And part of that is obviously reading scriptures. So when you Bhagavad Gita reading is very important. Bhagavad Prabhupada says Bhagavad Gita is the Vedic intelligence, and it strengthens our intelligence. When you see that in a horse race, right, you see that horses are put blinders in their eyes so that they don't distract. Similarly, Maya puts blinders on our eyes, and we're always in the false ego. When we remove those blinders by reading Bhagavad Gita, cultivating knowledge, it strengthens us. It strengthens us very much. Another thing that really helps me is introspection. So you should introspect and write down your thoughts. What is going on in your mind? That's very important. You have to take inventory of what gives you faith. Practice those things very regularly. You can always focus on your negatives, but why do you want to do that? I want to focus on my positives. These things give me faith. Okay, and it could be different for different people. And you should write those down. Okay? That there will be many spiritual experiences we will have, which we should write down and they should be accessible to us readily, so that we can read upon them, we can expand upon them. Right. So don't focus on your doubts. Focus on your what gives you faith. We all have weaknesses, but if you become conscious of that weakness, then we are setting up ourselves for failure. Okay? Like if you remember Sachin Tendulkar, he was a very good batsman, but he was not that great a bowler. But if he started saying, "Oh, I can't bowl well," and he will go in a self low esteem, then it doesn't work, right? You're a good batsman, you focus on that. So we have to focus on uh, meditate on things that you are good at. Remember and cultivate your strength. That's what introspection is. So it helps you finding yourself. I put the vague become when things that are vague become very clear when you verbalize them. Try to get absorbed in bhakti. Okay? That's it. That don't do it just for the sake of it. Let's say if you're doing arti, you should know why am I doing arti? Okay, fine. Why do I offer a chamar to Krishna? Ask these questions. So experiencing bhakti. Humility is a very important aspect that I like. Is something that I constantly feel that I'm missing. So I try to be more conscious of it. Uh, Humility means that my all my powers are coming from Krishna. Dependence on Krishna is humility. We can do everything. We can be successful in life, do whatever we. Krishna is not asking us, "Oh, don't shine." No, I can shine. I can work hard to shine, but then I can excel in life. But then I give the credit to Krishna. So when we take shelter of Krishna in mood of surrender, He protects us, and then we have a simple life. I depend on Krishna, and then you can give the rest of your time balance to bhakti. And because eventually it's Krishna who will remove all your false ego. It's not you yourself. So humility means we depend on Krishna. And it also means the self-awareness that I'm not perfect. I should be open for change. That's cultivating humility. Association, I can't say enough. Association is very important. However, you should be very careful whom you associate with. Not everybody who's wearing a tilak and dhoti kurta is a devotee. You have to know whom you should associate with. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaiva Dharma, he says, association means that your bhakti improves in that other person's presence. Then only you're associated. Otherwise, you're just hanging out with them. It's not association. We go to a temple, we meet so many devotees, but it might not be an association for all of them. Right? So that's also important. I put it, be kind to yourself. This is something I've learned in a hard way. If you become very, always demeaning yourself, that, oh, you're not good in it, you're not good in it, you become very harsh with yourself. Unless we don't learn to love ourselves, how are we going to learn our Creator? So be kind to yourself, be loving. And then I put this question, questioning the motive. Why am I doing it? Just don't do niyamagra, right? We heard that in, I'm not sure if Mataji, you joined when, I think you joined after NY. In NY, there was a word niyamagra. You're just doing it for the sake of it. Always asking this question, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Right? So when you keep doing that, then it kind of starts to clarify things for you. You're deliberating on something. What is my true value? Like, for example, you can ask yourself, right? What do I want to be remembered when I leave this body? Or even more, what is it that I will, let's say when we are leaving our body and, if we are lucky enough, Prabhupada comes and he asks us, Tim, now, what did you do for my mission? I should have something to say to him. But if I keep saying, oh, Prabhupada, oh, this temple devotees were not good. Do you know that, oh, the temple president was doing something this or that? And Prabhupada will say, no, I didn't ask you that. I'm just asking what you did. So always deliberate. Deliberate. It's very important. So when you deliberate, you become absorbed. When you become absorbed, then that leads to advancement. And it makes Krishna happy and he helps you clean your heart. So these were some points, Mataji. I just gathered them. And as I said in the beginning, I'm far away from freeing myself of false ego. So I just wanted to share some things that helped me. And
Prabhu, I just would like to say that this is amazing. This is exactly what I wanted to know for myself, exactly. So this particular whatever research, I don't know you did it or not, or it came automatically to you, is really the thing which I was hankering for, that I wanted to improve myself. And you have given fabulous tips actually, so that I can improvise on myself. So I'm going to keep this printout for myself and keep it very close to me so that I can read it every day and improvise.
I'm very happy that it was of help to you, Mataji. And as I said, it's not a foolproof 100% perfect list. There might be things you can change for yourself, but I just shared what helps me on a daily basis. And I'm learning from these. I keep improving upon these. But yeah, there'll be other things that some devotees might tell you, and which might be even more valuable. So keep yourself open. That's the important part.
Yes.
That's also important.
And about this last one, always ask your motive why I am doing it. And if suppose, I don't know if it is right or wrong or what, if suppose I'm doing it because I don't want to take birth again, will that be a proper motive? Or I have to improvise on that also?
Yes. So one thing is that, so something that I'll tell you something, and this is a very interesting thing. I write down my thoughts, especially related to bhakti. I write them down. Just today morning, I was looking at some of my older notes, and there I found a question that I had written in 2018. I was asking myself, why do I want to do it? That was a question I was asking. However, today, just from the past 6-8 months, I've been very seriously asking myself, what is my purpose? So I realized that from 2018 to 2024, it took me to refine my question actually. 2023, you can say, as I said, 6 months. It took me just to refine my question, and then Krishna gave me the answer. So Krishna wanted me to go through that whole thinking process, learning process before I get that answer. So similarly, yes, why am I doing it? You might have to keep thinking it. What my motive is. What my motive is. And when you introspect, that particular question might sound incomplete to you. And no, this doesn't look like perfect as a question. But then that's why I'm saying you should introspect, keep introspecting. Then the question will come out for sure. When you, as Bible says, right? When you ask, you shall receive, something like that. Bible says. So it's not that what you are saying right now might be the right motive for you. I'm not saying it's wrong, but then you have to keep introspecting, and whatever you are doing in bhakti, you have to put it in perspective with that motive, saying, okay, does it fit in there? And you might or might not find some discrepancies, and then you will say, oh, this aspect of my bhakti didn't fit well with my motive. Then you can go back and question, is my motive perfect, or does it need improvement? It's a keep, you have to keep improving upon it, Mati. Keep working on it. That's what I'm suggesting.
Okay, thank you. Really helpful.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Thank you, Mati. I'm happy that it worked out for you.
I am too beyond happy.
Okay.
I can't show you my tears. They are coming.
Okay. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. I'm happy I could be of some service.
Yeah, thank you so much for explaining. This was really required, but I would like to go back to the second one again.
Second slide? Oh, no.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
My desire for, can you read that? It's too
My
small.
desire for belonging to be loved has transformed in a desire for control and lust. I have been so deeply entrenched and disillusioned by my surrounding that I have let my consciousness be polluted and corrupted.
So this is all my fault.
That's what I put there, Madhuri, philosophically. First thing I put there is realize it's your responsibility. If you don't realize it's your responsibility, you will keep putting the blame on somebody else, some situation, some person. This person did too wrong to me, or why was I put in this situation? No. You have to take responsibility. The reason I'm here and suffering is because of it. There's no other reason.
And about depending completely on Krishna, yes. So we have to, whatever in every situation of life, whatever we are thinking, whatever we are doing, we have to offer it to Krishna first, saying, this is what it is, and I need a solution. This is how we offer it to Krishna.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. See, but the dependency just means whatever is coming to me is Krishna's plan to purify. And it goes back to the first point, taking responsibility. Right? That's why the verse 10:14:8 by Brahma's prayers, the chapter, he says, Tatyanukampam Susamikshamana. That verse is one of the best verses of Bhagavatam, because it tells me that some people, when in this material world, they keep just accepting whatever is coming to them as Krishna's mercy. And they just keep living their lives, trying to do bhakti to the best of their capacity. They become Sadaya Bhak. They become inheritors to the kingdom of God.
Wow.
So all you have to do is just understand that everything that is coming to you is Krishna's mercy. Nothing is bad. Nothing can ever be bad. How can somebody like Krishna be bad to you? He's your father. He's taking care of you. Some things you might not understand today. Might be 20 years from now, you might understand it. Sometimes Krishna doesn't give mercy for the entire life. But when you're leaving your body, Krishna packs everything in a box and that just presents you like a gift. And you'll be completely self-realized when you're leaving your body. So never give up that dependence on Krishna. But this is, again, as I said, you have to keep telling this again and again to yourself. Introspection is needed and repetition is needed. You have to keep telling these things again and again to yourself that I have to depend on Krishna. I have to depend on Krishna. Chanting is the only thing that is going to help. So these things, you should have a list which you could always read again. That's why affirmations are very valuable also. So that's what dependency is. Just putting everything in Krishna's hand. Isn't it? Whatever you want to give, that's okay. This is your mercy coming to. I might or might not understand it, but it is your mercy. I accept it. Right? Yes. Then it becomes. And then Krishna comes to help. Then Krishna surely comes to help. So we should not try to adjust the situation that, my God, I'm in this situation. I'm going to try to come out of it. I'll work like an ass 20 hours or no, 60 hours a week just to earn more. And then it's like Prabhupada, right? Prabhupada once thought, I will earn more from my business and then I'll bring that to Krishna. And Krishna did the complete opposite. He took away his business. So Prabhupada depended on Krishna. Prabhupada started League of Devotees. It failed. Prabhupada didn't give up his goal and mission. He came to US and started his mission. But he was fully dependent on Krishna. He says Krishna, like he said, right, in his Marki mein Bhagavad Dharma, he said, Krishna, you have given me a title of Bhakti Vedanta. Now you fulfill it. I am not Bhakti Vedanta. I am nothing. You fulfill. So he was fully dependent. And that is why he was successful.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a good example, actually, of how to completely be a surrendered soul. I mean, Prabhupada himself. So I was asking also about some examples that would also help, that to keep that false ego aside and be true to. I mean, Prabhupada is one example. Any other that you would like to suggest at this point? So
Mataji,
that
if you read the prayer, one thing that not just me, Keshav, he likes to read a lot. And when he was young, like 4 or 5, Shah Bhakti used to do is she used to buy all Prabhupada's disciple books. So we have a library full of Prabhupada. We might even have every single book that any disciple has written. We might have it in our shelf. And Keshav used to read everything. One thing that I picked up from one of the books, which I also read, was by Shyam Sundar Prabhu. Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Prabhupada sent them to start a temple. I think it was in London, or probably it was in California temple. They didn't have money to even pay the bill, the rent of the temple. They were about to be kicked out. And one morning, they were just out on the street. They were doing their chanting. Shyam Sundar Prabhu and Malati Mataji, they were married at that time. And suddenly they saw $100 bills were flying in the air. And they were just all over the place. And they were looking, where's the money coming from? They didn't know. They couldn't see anybody. It was early in the morning. And there were $100 bills flying all over. They just collected as much as they could, came to the temple, paid their rent, and they could also for other things. And one thing that struck me was Shyam Sundar Prabhu said that we became so used to miracles. We were expecting miracles to happen because we were dependent. That's what Prabhupada taught his disciples. You depend on Krishna. They were sent to London to start a movement. And just imagine what happened. They met George Harrison. He gave them a full, the Bhaktivedanta manner, I think, is by him. So that word dependence means that you just depend on Krishna. Krishna, you will take, and then Krishna does miracles. But we just have to take that leap of faith. That's necessary.
Yes, yes.
If I expect that Krishna first, you show me results and then I will take a leap of faith, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no.
So you can, and if you are, and I know you are a reader, but if you like to read, read Prabhupada Disciples book. There are unlimited examples of dependence on Krishna. Unlimited. You will be like overwhelmed with the examples of. I just gave you one example of Shyam Sundar Prabhu. There are so many other examples, so many of them.
Sure.
You read the book by Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Oh my God, what a book! Journey.
Oh, yeah,
Journey
I read that one. Yes.
Yeah, just imagine. Look at
it's amazing.
He goes to he traveled the whole of India. He was sitting in caves in the Himalayas, and so many things he was doing. But he was dependent on Krishna. So he was fully focused. He was dependent. Whether he knew Krishna or not at that time earlier on, it doesn't matter. He was dependent on that superior energy. So Krishna doesn't discriminate. He says, as long as you are dependent, you're understanding that there's a superior energy, I take care of you. So Prabhupada disciples' life is full of these dependent situations.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'll just end here.